Coach Driving Diaries number 3. So today is an early start, it's a Friday, and getting up at 5:15 in the morning. And the usual routine, by now it's get up, have a coffee and have some breakfast. And then at the yard, get the keys and get in the coach and start up the engine. Get everything warmed up and turn those heaters on because it's quite chilly outside. Put the Webasto on as well, put the aircon on onto automatic. And then insert the tachograph and do a manual entry to show I've had rest between now and when I last took the card out. Then fill in the defect book, just fill in the basic details first, doing the name, dates and time, the vehicle reg and the odometer reading, and then I'll do the walk round check and then tick the boxes afterwards, obviously marking off any defects, but there wasn't any today. So we left about 7:05, 7:10 thereabouts I think, off to the pickup point. Wasn't that far away. It involved going down this housing estate, which doesn't look like you'd go down, but this is a bus route. I was kind of worried about this, what it would be like later on at 6 PM, which was probably the time was roughly the ETA back here. Knowing that the local bus service would have stopped by then and people would start parking on corners and double parking, etc. But it was tight later on, but it was doable, so I got around okay. So at the pickup point, just setting up my route now with the sat nav and connecting my phone using the live traffic services. So just turning the sat nav on now, and then I'm going to turn the mobile data on, and then go into my programs, find the My Drive app, which I just went past. There it is. It's the TomTom services available on Google Play. Connecting then with the Bluetooth. I've already got it saved on my phone. It says could not connect, but just ignore that. So we can just check if it's connected. We'll go into the menu, and then on the top right you can just see the white car icon. It hasn't got a cross through it, so that means it's picking up the live traffic. And yeah, I can see on the map there's red and orange bits, which means it's working as it should. So just going to look for Tower Hill Coach Park on the map. You can do a search and search by postcode or town or location, but since I know where it is on a map, I'm just going to do it manually. Just zooming in, and there's the bus icon. It should say Tower of London, so I'll just click drive, and I've got all the details preset already. I set the max speed to 55. That gives me a rough ETA, bearing in mind I'll be doing 50 on the single carriageway and 62 on the motorway. So it gives you a rough average time. In theory it'll either go up or down depending on the traffic. So just seeing which route it gives me by default. I can see it's sending me through the A4 around Trafalgar Square. I could swear a bit of that was closed. It didn't look like it says closed. I mean, it might be wrong, it probably would be open. I'll sit through Pall Mall on that, but the route I have in mind is down the embankment, so just going to add a waypoint by Vauxhall Bridge, so it keeps blurring out because it keeps focusing on my hand. Add to current route, and that's telling me on the top right what the ETA is. It's telling me it's just an extra mile and just an extra 5 or so minutes difference. Just checking that the route is right. Embankment round Parliament Square, all the way across and in, yes. So I think we'll take that route. So after a brief stop at Reading, we finally landed at Tower of London at 11:40. Just unloaded, so just put my tacho on brake now. And here we are at Tower Hill Coach Park in B8. Managed to get in just okay. God knows how I'm getting out yet, but we'll look at that later on. So here's the extortionate tariffs for parking here. It's £14 per hour, and a whopping £137 a day. Whew. So we'll see how much that comes to when I pay for that later on. So went outside just for a little wander, and it's still raining outside. So just having a quick view of the Tower of London. And I didn't go in. I'm going to pay the price, and plus there was a massive queue for tickets to get in. So went back to the coach to have some lunch instead. So then it was time to have a look at the exit and try and fathom it out. Which, to be honest, the more I looked at it, the less I could fathom out, to be honest. This is really sort of worrying me how I was going to do this without damaging the coach. And I already had a look on these coach drivers forum for some tips, and the these posts didn't help really. I think just made it more worse, I think. As it says, like, you know, if you don't kiss the pillar with your near side mirror on the way out, you'll definitely mount the curb, and it's the narrowest, worst place you ever been in, bar none. Yeah. I mean, really, I need another coach to go out and see how they do it. But well, we shall see. I'll have to sit on that one for now. So if you're wondering what the route in looks like, this is the way in. It's very narrow. Probably at this angle, to be honest, probably looks a bit narrower than what it is. But you could come in one go. I found it relatively easy. Don't get me wrong, those pillars are off-putting. Those are the bays that I think they're supposed to be drop-off only bays, but that minibus was parked there. And then as you come across, you come to the exit route. So thought I'd try and take my mind off of Coach Park for now. The weather improved, it stopped raining, so took a walk to the Tower Millennium Pier, and here we are overlooking HMS Belfast, and there's the Shard behind, looking over the Thames towards London Bridge. And a view to the left of nice view there of Tower Bridge, and some Uber boats going out. And then I took a walk over to Tower Bridge just to bust a myth that I've been seeing about coaches are not allowed over Tower Bridge. And there was something about triaxles once as well, but I can't find any reference to that anymore. But yes, allegedly the weight limit on the bridge doesn't allow coaches. Some of ours were up to 19 tonnes, so I mean, you might look at this at first and think, well, yeah, 19 tonnes, you wouldn't be allowed because it says 18 tonnes. Well, actually, the clue's in the picture on the sign. It's a picture of a truck with the 18 tonnes limit inside of that truck. So, actually, that only applies to HGVs and lorries, not coaches. This is another thing that some car drivers get confused with if they see a coach down a 7.5 tonne limit weight limit road, but the 7.5 tonne is in the image of a truck, so therefore that actually only applies to lorries. If it applies to coaches as well, it would actually just have the weight and then the word MGW below, which in this case it doesn't say MGW, so coaches are actually allowed over this bridge. So that's solved that one, and if you didn't know that, then you know now. And then on the way back to the coach park, I just happened to see this Route Master on the Route T15, one of the new heritage routes. Offers cheap fares as well. I've been on this before, well recommended. And it's time to just have a bit of a kip, although I didn't actually sleep. I just closed my eyes for a bit, because the journey on the way back was going to be non-stop, so it was going to be a good sort of at least 3 hours driving non-stop, so good to rest your eyes where you can. And then not that long after, to be honest, I heard the sound of a Mercedes Turismo behind me and thought, oh my gosh, there's a coach going. Ran to the back and yeah, sure enough, one of the German triaxles was on its way out, so I thought, aha, I can see how it's done. So I can see that he's aiming to the far left, because he hasn't gone right over to the left, naturally, because if you turn you'd hit this coach in the bay there. So of course the angles aren't going to be precisely how you do it. He's got a triaxle, yeah, a bit longer, but he's got a rear steer, so the back is getting pushed over. As you can see, he's going right, but he's going straight on a bit, and looks like it's getting close to that left pillar there, and then doing another straight run out, heading towards the next pillar, which does actually have some scrape marks on it there, and that must be the pillar that I saw on the forum that said you need to kiss the pillar on the left in order to miss the curb there on the close side. And there you are, he's on the road going out. So well, there's a rough idea. So with the group back, it was time to pay the ticket, because you've got to pay 15 minutes before you leave. And yes, here's the ticket. Entered at 11:30, paid at 15:02, so roughly 3.5 hours later, £56. That's just for not even 4 hours, but glad I wasn't paying that. Right, and then it was my turn to give it a go at getting out the coach park. So reversing as straight as I can. I'm kind of lucky that the coach next to me had gone at this point, so I had a bit more room to the right to swing a bit earlier if I wanted to, but couldn't do it too early with the pillar on the left. Positioned pretty much where the pillar is now on that other coach. So I don't want to hit that pillar there. So here we are, moving over to the left, but not too far over to the left, because I don't want to catch my tail swing, as I mentioned earlier, on the backs of these coaches here. So looking at the exit to the right, but keeping it forward, and I want to turn last minute. See if I can get it straight out with the last minute, because I need to be facing the exit sign. Pretty much just about here. And thought we had it, but no, I'm going to get the corner on the front. But need to worry, because there is some room behind. You know, you can always do a shunt. As I've always heard as well, that drivers that make the damage sometimes are the ones that say they can definitely do it in one. And you know, don't be ashamed by doing the shunt. Just having to wait for the barriers to open, having the registration checked, and checking that the route out is clear. Sometimes they I think that German coach that was going up before, I did clip it because he did have to wait here a while that lorry in front was reversing into the loading bay. So there we are, barriers up. So I'm going to just keep it straight a bit more, and then bring it over to the right, try and skim that pillar on the left there, doing it just as that triaxle did. Seeing that I've got room, trying to take it slowly obviously as well, straightening up again just a bit, aiming for that left pillar now, trying to get as close as I can, and luckily with this one having a good turning circle, I managed to get close. But looking to the right, I seem to recall there's quite a gap between the back wheel and the curb as well. But now we've got this sharp left, so I'm getting over to the right, and then I'm going to try and take this left turn as late as possible. So what I can picture in my head here is trying to get close to this bollard and the security hut bit here. Give me a bit straight there as well, and I can just skim the curb to the left. Just skim the office there, and no, I didn't hit it. Coming out, decided if I need to use the ferry lift, but no, it's fine. This was a problem though, because I had to take this right turn at the last minute because these minibuses parked on the double yellows. Could have done with that room really. Taking it just close to that pillar there. It's behind, you can't see there because it's the pillar on the back corner, and out we go. Now this was a bit confusing because I wasn't really sure if the cars were queuing to go up the one-way street, or if they were parked there, or if they were waiting for that car that was just reversing in. But no, it looked like they were stationary. So moving on out, this is the exit road. You can't go out on the right, so from here you are forced pretty much to take a left turn. You can't actually go back up to Tower Bridge, although there is a slight gap there. I'd imagine some people probably tried it, but officially you are supposed to go left and exit this way. So this is the road out towards the embankment. So we are on Upper Thames Street and passing under Cannon Street Station. And then under Blackfriars Station, and then Blackfriars Bridge. And then along the embankment, just moving over to the right hand lane, in preparation to make a right turn onto Northumberland Avenue. And running up Northumberland Avenue, just letting this route master pull out in front, since it's going to be pulling over to the left anyway, and heading up towards Trafalgar Square now. This is actually quite an awkward section coming up here anyway, because trying to get onto Trafalgar Square doesn't let many cars through, so it took about 5 minutes to get up to the front, and now I was kind of concerned if I was in the right lane or not, because honestly I couldn't remember if you could use left lane, right lane or both. But come around, it says Pall Mall on the right hand lane, so that was alright. But it's a case of, now it says Trafalgar Square, now I need to push over to the left a bit more. Kind of stuffed it up I think, but indicate left, and just making sure it's a bit clear. Someone will see a big vehicle moving over to the left and they'll give way. So I will put the hazards on as a brief thank you. And putting over now onto Pall Mall. And then take a right onto St James's Street, and that will bring us up to the top onto the A4 Piccadilly Road. And this is also one of the typical scenarios you can get, especially with these private hire minibus things. That this was, I could see in my mirror, he was in the left lane, and then suddenly he shot up in the right. Bearing in mind this right hand lane is straight on only, and the left lane I'm in is for the A4 Piccadilly Road. And yeah, suddenly he cuts on the right and then decides he's going to barge into the left. But this is why you have to look in your mirrors and imagine scenarios are going to happen like this, and they do. At this point I was deciding whether to go around Marble Arch and show the Marble Arch on the way out. But seeing as we were on a mission to get out of London, and knowing how much of a pain the giveaway markings are trying to get onto Marble Arch, I decided we're stuck on the underpass and go underneath it as well. It's such a good idea, this underpass. Really does save some time. And then at the other side of Marble Arch, you end up on the Knightsbridge Road, and here you can play your decision depending on what your live traffic is saying. You can either hang left past Harrods, which was my original intention, or hang it right onto the 315, I think it is, Kensington Road. Both will bring you up at Hammersmith. At Cromwell Road, up past the V&A, and Harrods was looking rather sticky, so last minute decision, decided to take the Kensington Road instead. Then bumbling along quite nicely, passing this rather smoky LT. That's the Royal Albert Hall up ahead. And then we hit this is sped up, by the way, if you're wondering why the cars are zooming past. Yeah, for some reason everything just came to a grinding stop and people were doing U-turns, and I thought, well, I can't exactly do U-turn. So I'm quite sure what the problem was going on here, because everything was looking right on the live traffic up to this point, and the numbers started going up. And then further up the road, still got this sped up, because this took absolutely an age. Because this was another problem to the traffic jam, was this box junction. So had a load of cars coming up from the left that were going left, and then essentially you couldn't enter the junction because now they were joining the queue. And then once they moved, another batch of cars would appear and join the queue. And yeah, basically from that first bit up to now, haven't even done a mile, and this was taking 25 minutes. This is all you could do with on a Friday. And then after another 10 minutes of further traffic jams, we found the root of the problem. It was these three-way traffic lights being placed outside some construction building, although they were taking the fencing away, so presumably that was causing some problems as well, I suppose, I don't know. But nonetheless, once we got through here, it was plain sailing up to Hammersmith. And then just around the Hammersmith bus station. And then swiftly joining the A4. And then finally, the blue sign for the M4, heading out of London. Now that was a bad day, because that was 2 hours from Tower Hill to here, and an average time for that should be an hour 10 minutes, maybe a bit worse, an hour and 20, but yeah, 2 hours was not the expected time. But then on a Friday, maybe 2 hours is a good day. I'm not experienced on leaving London on a Friday, so that's probably accurate. Plain sailing from here though. Further up the M4 onto the M25 junction, what I tend to do here actually is stay in lane 2. Can't use lane 3, so if I was on a car I'd be tempted to use 2 or 3. But lane 1 pretty much is a dangerous place to be at this point, because you have this long queue here, and what you're about to see in a moment is an example of what I mean. Here's the vehicle now in lane 1 who's using the M4, but it's decided at the last minute and the M25 turn off to try and barge in and essentially stop on lane 1. Very first time I had done the M25 interchange, I was using lane 1, and well, that was some scary moments. So I don't use lane 1 anymore. Well, until I've passed the M25 junction. So otherwise, apart from a slight delay near the Newbury area on the M4, that's mostly because the roadworks there, the speed going down to 40 mile an hour. Pretty much plain sailing run back, and so back at the yard later on, and just doing a sweep out. And then going through, doing all these seat belts, checking that they all clip in and are all secure. And then backing the coach into the yard, just to put it away, and that's that done for the day. Clocking off, it's just gone 8:15. And the last thing now is just to hang the keys up, and there we are. That's Coach Driving Diaries number 3. Number 4 should be out soon. This covers the next day. It wasn't London, it was something else. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and of course, as always, like and subscribe for more of these videos. Until then, see you on the next episode. Take care. Bye bye.